Okay, so now the entire thing should have this kind of rock texture going around it. Now I actually want a little bit of a fence coming up here in order to guide the character up to the top here. So we already have a fence in place, so I'm just going to take one of these. Just going to do a Control and D to duplicate, and then I should just be able to move this to where I need it to. Actually, I can just press F in order to get a little bit closer. Okay, so going to rotate this around. Pull it over to this side, so I might start the fence just a little bit further back. Maybe somewhere like this. Okay, just going to pull it up a little bit, and then let's start to create this fence. Okay, so once again, Control and D to duplicate, just move it forward. Control and D. Now obviously it's going to start to go up a little bit here, so we just need to change the height of this. Control and D. Just going to rotate it very, very slightly. Control and D. That one is floating above the ground, so I've changed over there. Again. It's not quite in place. Yeah, fine. Okay, this one needs to just come back a little bit. Down. Okay, and once again, I'm just going to rotate that just very slightly. I might need to just move that up a little bit. Okay, then Control and D. Once again, I'm just going to rotate this around just a little bit. Control and D. Just rotate it a little bit more. The rotation helps it to look like it's kind of straight but going up a hill. Otherwise you'll get this very weird kind of step effect if you don't do that. Control and D. So I'm just going to lift this up and a little bit more rotation. And Control and D. Slight bit more rotation. Control and D. Just a little bit more rotation. Okay, then Control and D. Now at this point I don't need to rotate because it's kind of it's at the right angle. Control and D. This one just needs to come up just a little bit more, slight bit more rotation. Okay, then Control and D. Now this is the point where it needs to completely rotate around so it starts to straighten out. Okay, then Control and D. Now I actually want this one to be going that way, so I'm just going to rotate this around. I'm also just going to lift this up just a little bit. And then Control and D again. Yep, okay, that's fine. Control and D. There we go. Then I need just a final post. Okay, so the ones with the final post, so these ones with the little triangle. Just going to click on this, press F to get closer to it. Click on this item, Control and D. Okay. And I can just pull this down, right down to the bottom of this stack. And just start to move this. Just press F to get closer. It's underneath the terrain at the moment. Okay, just press F again. Need a little bit of rotation, straighten this up. Okay, there we go. So I think that one's the last piece, so I'm just going to take this extra pillar and just put it in there. All right. So that's the fence on that side. Now I need the same thing but on the other side, so I'm going to take from this one all the way down to this one, so from 34 to 46. Okay, I'm going to take all of those, Control and D to duplicate and just bring those over to this side. Now I need to rotate it all so that it's facing the correct direction, so I'm just going to hold Control. Here we go. And then obviously it's going the wrong way at the moment, so I just need to rotate that around. Now obviously some of the rotation needs to be fixed. Okay, so this final piece here, I'm just going to press delete to get rid of that one. Just going to drive it a bit further down into the ground. So it's just a case of then straightening some of these up. Okay. That one's a little bit further away. This is where you need to start doing, basically just fixing the rotation on this. It's getting a little bit close to that texture. We can always repaint that bit out, it's not a problem. And make sure that it's not floating above the ground or anything. Looks like my rotation might be a little bit too steep there actually, so let me just bring that down a little bit. If you're noticing that the bottom of the piece is coming out of the ground, then that means it's too steep. Okay. Alright, and then this one will then straighten back out again. So let's make this completely straight. In fact, actually, maybe not. Do that with the next one. Control and D on this one, and then obviously straighten this one out. There we go, and then obviously I can then put more of these on this side. So let's just take these ones, let's do a Control and D to duplicate and bring these across. I want to take that final piece, where is it? This one, and I just want to drag that off of there, and then I can move that out of the way. Just put this above here, so I believe it's these three. I just need to rotate these around. Okay, until it matches up, and then this final piece, you want to take it way down here at the bottom and finish this piece off. Notice how adding just these little details makes it look a little bit more professional. Okay, so just need to rotate that around. So the rotation is going this way as well. All right. There we go. So now we've got ourselves an interesting looking fence. Now the rock itself here, so let's go back onto island. Let's just go on to paint. Okay, the grass. Let me make my brush a lot smaller. Just want to paint these bits out. Okay, so it's very easy to fix. Alright, excellent. So now we've got, oh, is that floating above the ground there? Just move that down. rotate that a little bit and then just move it down. Okay, good. Yeah, so I think that's quite nice. It's starting to come on there. It's a little bit of a rock. I'll just move this further into the path there. Okay, quite happy with that. Now this particular rock texture here on the edge of the terrain, I'm not entirely happy with this. It just doesn't look that great. So what I want to do is try changing this material. So if I click back on Island, onto textures, it's this particular texture. Well, instead of having to repaint it, all we need to do is basically click select and choose a different texture. Alright, nice and easy. So I'm thinking of using Rock 02. But double click, it looks a lot more interesting. Okay, don't need this normal map, so I'll just click select, go all the way up to the top and choose none. Alright, that gets rid of that, so now you can see it looks a lot nicer. Now at the moment this tiling on this is probably a little bit out, so let me try 7 by 7. I think that does a pretty good job actually. Yeah, I think I'm quite happy with that actually, and it's got that nice kind of cartoony sort of feel, you know, very hand painted. Alright, excellent. So what we'll do in the next video is we'll continue in this area and start to finish this bit off.